Hello. Okay, I just started recording. So let me situate this. So today we're just going to do a quick training. Let me get rid of this really quick. Can you see my screen? I hope you can see my screen. Share screen, share. Oh, I think it's sharing. Technology is my best friend. Can you tell? Okay. So this is a working Wednesday. It's not just a training. So we're going to learn this quickly so that we can actually start doing it together. So the focus today is build first, sell second, and how we are going to turn shared interests into real conversations instead of cold messages. So this is not about pitching strangers. It's about placing yourself in areas where you already belong. Okay. Oops, my screen is over on the other screen. Let's just get rid of that. Thank you. Okay, so why this works? This works because people trust people who feel familiar. So groups, Facebook groups already have a shared interest, a shared language, shared problems, all of those things. So instead of convincing someone from scratch, you're stepping into a space where trust is already existing. You're not trying to stand out. You're literally trying to fit in, but genuinely. It works because we're not interrupting people. We're just joining into conversations or creating conversations that are already happening in that atmosphere. So when someone's in a group, they've already raised their hand for that specific topic. They already care about that. They can already relate to you. So by the time you even hit their inbox, you're not as going in as a stranger, you're already familiar. Familiarity creates safety. When people feel safe, they talk, and when they talk, they share, and when they share, opportunities open up naturally. Okay, so this is why we're not going to just rush into someone's inbox. If the conversation feels like it's being forced, it's because it hasn't had time to form yet. So think about it like this. You're not going to walk into a room of people that you don't know at a party or something and just start pitching your product, okay? If you listen first, you find common ground, you start talking, and then you ease into it. Groups let you do that online. So it's like going to a party. Say you have this cat group. You're going to a party where everyone likes cats, okay? So you're making familiar things online, okay? All right. Shared interest, built in trust, warm conversation energy. Yes. Right. People don't buy products, they buy from people they feel safe with. Okay. So, what kind of groups do we want to use? We want to focus on groups that we are already in or that we belong to. So, mom groups, that's for me, wellness group, yes. Chronic pain or fibro groups, faith-based groups, military homeschool, local groups, etc. The list goes on. Cat groups, dog groups, horse groups, whatever. If you wouldn't hang out with these people without having a business, you're probably in the wrong group. One or two groups is plenty to start with. You want depth, not volume. Okay, so these groups are places that you're naturally going to fit in. So if you're in the same life stage, the same struggles, the same interests, you don't have to be in massive groups, but you want to make sure the group is active, that people are actively posting, commenting, talking, sharing, venting, asking questions. That's the kind of group you want to be in. If you feel awkward posting in that group, you're probably not in the right group. So, you want to make sure that that is you. This is your interest too. You're not just being an imposter impersonating someone else. Okay, so another thing, just to be clear, we're not going into these groups and pitching to these people right off the bat. We're not breaking group rules. Most group rules, they don't let you put links. They don't want you mentioning products. They don't want any kind of business posts. We're not doing any of that. Please don't do that. We're just participating as a human, as a group member. So we're not there to pitch. We're there to create relationships and to participate in the group. All right. Okay, the DMO. So this is the entire point of it. Post, friend, engage, inbox, share. Those are the steps. Simple. Post, friend, engage, inbox, share. So these steps, I want to be really clear because this is where people start to overthink things. For the post, you have two options. You can either create your own post in the group, which is my preference, or you can jump in on other people's posts that you align with. Both can work. So if you create your own post, that's great. It gives people a reason to come to you. If you don't want to do that, that's totally fine. You can engage on posts that you resonate with, posts where people are sharing their struggles, or even if just connecting with the original person who made the post. The key is alignment, not necessarily visibility. All right. Second step from that is friend. So from there, you're going to friend the people that you're interacting with. It might be people who commented. It might be the person who made the post. That's the next step. So we're going to go in deeper for each of these steps. So then next is engage. They accept, you engage. This is where the relationship starts. We're not selling, we're not pitching, we're just being real people. Next step is inbox. Then and only then, after you have gone, friended them, interacted, engaged, then you go in the inbox. Not to pitch, not to sell, but to continue the already existing conversations that have been started. And then finally, the last step is share. When it finally makes sense, then you share your experience. You share what's helped you, you share your product, but it's the last thing that happens. It doesn't come first. All right, so these are the steps. We're going to go in deeper for each one. So let's do the group post. This is not a product post. We're not going to groups and posting about the product. The post itself needs to be relatable, personal, and open-ended. We are starting conversations. We're not making announcements here. Oh my goodness. Okay. So if your post doesn't invite a response, it's not the right post. All right. So some examples. This is not a product post. It's a conversation post. It's relatable, personal, open-ended, and specific to the group. Hold on, babe. So you want to make sure that it matches the group that you're in. So I'm not going to go into a cat group and start talking about cars. So it has to be something people that actually care about that group. The group members will actually care about what you're posting. If it doesn't feel natural to the group, it's going to be weird. It should be something that you're genuinely interested in or curious about. You're not forcing it. If you don't care about the answer, don't ask the question. It needs to invite opinions. So most of the time, what that looks like is, let's go back to the other slide. I feel like we're not ready for that one yet. Okay, so it needs to be open-ended. It needs to invite opinions. Most of the time it looks like, who else feels like this? Am I the only one? What is your experience with this? People love to give their opinion. So your job is to give them an opening. All right, now let's go to post examples. Okay, so these are just some examples. We're not mentioning fix. We're not mentioning any product. We're not mentioning anything about the business. We're not DMing people from the post. We're just having conversations. So if you're in a mom group, this stuff lands hard. You can say something like, random question, what is something that has helped you feel more calm lately? I feel like I'm just running on chaos. That directly connects you to what you eventually want to talk about, but you don't even have to be like that on the nose. Like you can ask simpler questions. Who here is scatterbrained most days? Who feels like they need coffee 24/7? Who feels dismissed by doctors? Who hates going to the doctor? These questions always get engagement in mom groups. Trust me. Okay. You want to make your point clear that you are an active participator in that group, that you are connecting stuff related to that group in that group. You're not going to go and be all weird and start talking about things that have nothing to do with that group. Okay. Oh, you can say, I mean, two, you don't have to talk about anything that can link you back to the product. You're just literally starting conversations. So if you're in a cat group, you can say, uh, whose favorite cat is a Siamese cat? Or do you like tabbies more than calicos? Like, I'm acting like I'm a cat expert right now. I'm totally not. I swear I'm not in any cat groups. The point is, the topic is there to bring connection. So when people start talking, you listen, you engage, they engage, you engage back. You're planting familiarity. Okay. So next is, now you're having these conversations. Who are you going to friend? Well, just everyone, this part's super simple. Literally anyone who comments on your post, reacts to your post, replies to a comment on your post, send them a friend request. It's not weird. It's not salesy. You already interacted in a shared space. So you don't need to go and overanalyze their profile. You don't need to guess if they're going to be interested. You don't need to qualify them. Okay. Their engagement with you is permission to connect. Okay. If they engage with your post, that's it. You can friend them. Stop deciding for people. Let them decide for themselves. All right. You're going to keep it super simple. Keep it human, short, contextual. This is the friend request. You don't need a pitch. You don't need an explanation or anything like that. Just say, hey, we interacted in that group earlier. I love connecting with like-minded people. That's it. Superhuman, normal. Let it unfold from there. All right, interaction. So once they accept your friend request, this is where you start building that trust. So this is a huge, huge relationship step. So what it looks like is you're just doing normal things. You go in, you like a few posts, you heart a few posts. Don't actually like posts, just heart them. Everyone deserves a heart on their post, okay? Comment on things naturally, things that you feel drawn to, comment on them. Reply to stories. Stories are gold because it puts you back in their inbox. Okay. Anytime you comment on somebody's story, you're now in their inbox. Once you are in their inbox, they start seeing your stuff show up in their algorithm. It's magic. I swear. Okay. So you're going to give them natural interactions, like, oh, wow, that makes so much sense. Like commenting on their posts. Oh, I love the point that you're making here. Like, talk to them. You don't have to do this for weeks. Sometimes it can be a day. It depends on how connected you are with this person, like-minded, I guess. But it can literally just be like a couple of days just to get familiar with them, okay? If you feel it's awkward, just don't comment. Maybe they're not your person. So whole point of this is showing up as a person and not a sales rep. All right, next, adding to the list. All right, this is not flashy, but it's super important. And this is how you stay organized because, come on, babies. Oh, it's nap time. Anyone you friend from a post, add them to your list. It can be notes on your phone, your app, notebook, whatever. I'm a pen and paper girl. I like to do my list on paper. It's just easier for me. Whatever works for you. So this is going to help you preventing random awkward follow-ups. Literally your list needs a couple things: their name, where you met them, something about them. So like my list, I wrote, I made a post in a group asking about root cause healing. So next to that thing, I put root cause healing, and then I put all the people that I friended off of that post down there. I put their names down there. And then next to some of them, I have notes. I have from Canada, 3 kids. You just write it down. This makes follow-up so much easier because you don't have to guess who they are. You don't have to forget how you met them, and you're building intentional relationships. All right. The inbox. So after you have already interacted, you can go in their inbox. It's not a pitch. It's not a sales message. Continuing conversation. So you've interacted in the group, you've connected as friends, you've already been engaging on their page. So it should feel normal. They should see your name, know who you are, because they see you popping up all over their page, making comments, putting hearts, dropping hearts, saying, oh my gosh, your kids are so cute. Oh yeah, we have that bike too. Don't you just love it? Just, normal things. So you're not messaging to sell someone, you're messaging them to talk. So usually that sounds like responding to something they already shared about, referencing a group or a post, asking a genuine question. Nothing fancy. If you don't know what to say, don't force it. You can wait. The interaction can come first. The inbox is your bridge to the pitch. Okay, so then after they've responded, you can message them back. The conversation does not have to be about the nervous system, by the way. This example on here, yes, it is, because I talk to a lot of people about that, and that's natural for me. But the conversation does not have to be about the nervous system. It doesn't have to be about wellness. It doesn't have to be about the product. You can literally message them about anything related to the group that you found them in. You're in a cat group, you can say, hey, I saw you have a calico. Have you noticed how different their personalities are compared to other cats? That's it. That's a conversation. You talk, you share life, you get to know them. And this is how your relationships start to actually form. Getting a phone call, please hold on. Okay? People are far less likely to say no to someone that they know. So even if this takes longer, you're more likely to have them say yes to you if you have a genuine relationship with them. Okay. Transition to the product. All right. So now we are talking about, when our conversation, we're talking, it can naturally come up at any time. And then you can share. Not because you planned it, not because it's been a certain number of days, but because it makes sense. So this usually happens, like for me, like if they mention stress, symptoms, if they're venting about something being overwhelming, they talk about their feelings, like they feel like they're dismissed, or if they ask what you do, you can ask what they do. Those are all like cues. Okay. And just keep it super simple. You mirror what they say. You share one line from your experience, and then you stop and let them talk. Let them talk. Okay. So when it fits, you can say something like, one thing that helped me was supporting my nervous system. You let them ask questions. Then you can tell them like, oh, I use something called Fix. It helped my body get out of fight or flight, and everything just works better now. Subtly mention it. If they don't ask about it, you don't have to push it. Connection creates the curiosity, and the curiosity creates the opportunity. Okay? And then follow-ups. This is just a simple follow-up. You can do like a simple check-in. Hey, I'm just reconnecting. Seeing how XYZ is. Or if you shared information with them, hey, I'm just checking back in. What were your thoughts on that? Did you watch the video I sent you? Seeing if you had any questions, you can do a permission-based follow-up, which is like, oh, that's the asking questions. Yeah. Or a life happens follow-up, like, hey, this usually happens like after holidays, or you've ignored them for a long time, or they've ignored you for a long time. Like, hey, I know you're probably really busy, but I just wanted to see what's going on, see if you had a chance to look at anything, see if you have any questions for me, blah, 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 all the things. Okay. You can follow up with people who you haven't given product information to, too. Okay. You literally just ask them how they've been doing. It's not hard. Okay. So the point of this entire thing is, We don't have to convince anyone. We just need to be present, real, patient, and it will come. If you want it to come faster, you can be more pushy. That's fine too. You can change who you are. You can, change the way you talk, anything like that. If you want to be more direct, be more direct. If you want to build a better relationship, build a better relationship. I'm not here to tell you how to do your business. I'm just here to tell you things that you can do to help your business, like getting in groups, starting conversations. I want a treehouse too, dude. And building those relationships. I want a treehouse too. All right, so let's get to work and let's get in those groups, start those connections, and get going. I'm going to stop the recording so we can just start working on that. If you have any questions, just put your little hand raise or unmute and ask away. How do I stop the recording?